Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Dear
Hare Krishna.
devotee, I extend a warm welcome to.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranams Prabhuji.
So today we shall continue from where we stopped, which is we were almost going to close chapter 4. So we will close that. The final concluding words of Lord Sri Krishna at the end of chapter 4. Shloka number 40.
40, yes, Prabhuji.
40, we'll start from there. Hare Krishna. So, Ajñascha Shraddhadanascha Samshayatma Vinashyati Nayam Lokosti Naparo Nasukham Samshayatmanaha. Very important point Krishna is making about doubting people. So we generally consider doubting as a sign of, intelligence, discrimination. You should not trust people, very blindly. You should use your discrimination. You should protect yourself by suspecting everyone like that. So being suspicious is considered as a good quality of a very sane personality. But when it comes to spirituality, you should accept your spiritual master and the scripture in complete faith. And we know that faith is not something that comes automatically or by, simply some training. No, that Shraddha in Bhakti scriptures, it comes from Sukriti. One should accumulate sufficient Sukriti by serving Vaishnavas. And Agyata Sukriti comes by serving unknowingly. Some Vaishnava has prayed for you. Some Vaishnava somehow came into your life and they prayed for you to the Lord. Lord, please make this person into a devotee. Or unknowingly you had taken some prasadam. Somebody gave you prasadam. Maybe unknowingly you honored it. Or you were walking on the street and there was a Rath Yatra coming and you took a darshan. Or you just casually pulled the Rath a bit or took darshan of the deities. Or you took some prasadam from there. Or you appreciated, oh, these deities look so beautiful, without knowing the significance of what you are saying. But in these ways, Sukriti is accumulated. And for getting faith in Bhakti, you need Bhakti Sukriti only. Sukriti means anything pious can be called Sukriti. Any pious activity gives you Sukriti. Like you dig a well for the public, you open a school for poor people, you open a free dispensary for people who are sick. And all these activities are pious activities. They give you pious credits. And pious credits may help you to slowly advance towards Sattva Guna and to enjoy a very happy material life, including in the heavenly planets. All this can be accomplished by pious credits, but bhakti credits are required for developing faith in the process of bhakti. And there is simply no comparison at all between a pious credit and a bhakti sukriti. They are totally different. Pious credits will give you a happy material existence only, which is all temporary. All material existence is temporary. When you die, everything is lost. Whatever you accomplished in one lifetime is lost. So there is simply no comparison between Bhakti Sukriti and what you call a pious credit. Bhakti Sukriti alone can give you Shraddha in the process of Bhakti. It can give you Shraddha to enter into the association of devotees. It will give you the Shraddha to start Bhajana Kriya in the association of devotees. This is where one's devotional life starts. Bhakti to Krishna starts in this way. So here Krishna speaks about the importance of Shraddha. And depending upon how strong my Shraddha is, that much I progress. So today morning, His Holiness Bhanuswami Maharaj was giving Bhagavatam class. There also this topic of Shraddha came. He says, Vaishnavas are classified into Kanishta Vaishnava, Madhyama Vaishnava, and Uttama Vaishnava. And this classification is based entirely on faith only. Faith. So the Kanishta Vaishnava has very little faith. It's called practically blind faith. Simply out of sentiment or something is doing some bhakti. He doesn't have Shastric knowledge. So the absence of Shastric knowledge means he is a beginner, neophyte. That is the Kanishta Bhakta. But when he starts reading the scriptures and with faith, and the understanding of scripture gives you faith. So it is the knowledge that gives you faith. Subsequently, your faith gets strengthened by studying the scriptures under proper guidance, under the help of a spiritual master and with the help of Vaishnavas. When you study the Shastras, then you advance from a neophyte stage to Madhyama stage, where you are very strong in your scriptural knowledge, and accordingly your Shraddha is also very strong. At the level of Uttama, this knowledge is completely transformed into realization. So at the level of Uttama, the knowledge functions as realization. That person is called a pure devotee. So the whole thing is actually transformation of Shraddha from a very initial stage to a completely mature stage. So it is development in the process of bhakti is entirely dependent upon our Shraddha only. So Krishna is telling in this shloka, ignorant and faithless persons. I think we had this discussion in one of our earlier classes that knowledge is built from faith only. First you have faith, then only you can learn. So I think in the last session also we spoke about it, and Kali Kumar Ghosh Prabhu today, I don't see him here. So he made that point. Yes, the foundation is Shraddha only. On that Shraddha foundation, our entire spiritual knowledge is built up. The knowledge stands on the strong foundation of faith. So it is that faith which Krishna is emphasizing. If you don't have faith, you will remain ignorant only. That faith only helps you to build knowledge from a platform of ignorance or darkness. Slowly, slowly the light comes by your knowledge which you accept. See, if you are reading a book without faith, you will not get any knowledge. So, but with faith you read, then you get knowledge. So that's what the ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures. See, because revealed scriptures, we have to understand it is unlike any other book of this material world. All the books which are written in this material world are based on material experience with the help of material senses and the material mind. From the time we are born, we are acquiring knowledge with the help of our material senses and material mind. And whatever thoughts we have, whatever imagination we have, everything is based on our material experience only. So any book written by a person of this world is filled with material consciousness and material understanding. But devotional scriptures or revealed scriptures, they are coming from a higher pedestal. They are coming from beyond the material world. So they have a completely different quality. In a material kind of book, you can ask questions like we learn in school or college or universities. We read a book which is written by a man like us, and we raise doubts and we get clarification. We raise more doubts. The whole thing happens on that basis because it is based on sensual experience. It can be questioned and it can be explained. But this is something which is coming from a different platform, spiritual platform, which is not in our experience at all. We don't know about the spiritual body. We don't know about the spiritual senses. We don't know about the spiritual time. And we don't know about people who are completely spiritual. We have absolutely no idea, no knowledge. So this is a descending knowledge. So how to receive this descending knowledge, which is called revealed scriptures? So Krishna says, it is with faith only. If you don't have faith, you will remain ignorant. And ignorant people will refuse to accept the revealed scriptures. So, Ajnascha. Ajnascha means ignorant people. Ashraddhadanascha, those who don't have faith. For these people, Samshayatma, they raise questions and doubts in the scripture. Okay, now can one of you attempt to compare this with Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva-darshanam. That shloka also we have seen. There Krishna says, serve with humility and submissively inquire. So there is also the point of inquiry is there. So inquiry means doubt, na? Seeking clarifications, is it not? So here Krishna says, no, you should have no doubts at all. Is it a contradiction?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. No, Prabhuji.
How?
Prabhuji, the according to the shloka Tadvidhi Pranipatena, we receive the knowledge first. In a submissive and humble way, Prabhuji. And after receiving that, we should have firm faith. And we should ask questions in such a way that to the Guru, so that we won't be able to understand that, Prabhuji. So with the help of Guru, he will make us understand. Prabhuji, because since we don't have the experience of understanding the higher knowledge, Prabhuji, by their mercy, only then we can understand. I don't know, Prabhuji, I just attend.
Very good. So, Tadvidhi. Tadvidhi means to learn the absolute truth. Tad means truth, absolute truth. So, how to know the absolute truth? In this whole material world, there is no absolute truth at all. All the things that you see around you is matter. You see and you experience around you, it's all matter only. And they are not Tat. They are not truth. They are not absolute truth. So if you want to know what is the absolute truth behind this entire material creation, what is absolute? Then you have to approach a Tattva Darshinaha. One who has seen the Tattva Darshina. You have to approach such a spiritual master who is a Tattva Darshina. And how you have to approach him? You have to approach him with humility and serve him and inquire submissively. You have to inquire submissively. So the point is, approaching a spiritual master is with complete faith that he knows, he has seen the truth. With that knowledge, you approach him. That means, I don't know, but at least I know that he knows. I should have that faith. He knows. He knows completely. And he can impart it to me. That faith I should have. He is a Tattvadarshina. And he can give me the truth. And from him, I can learn the truth. I should have faith in that. I should have faith in the supreme truth, and I should have faith in the fact that this Guru knows the supreme truth. And through him, I can acquire the supreme truth. That much faith one should have. Even though the knowledge is not there. I don't know the absolute truth, but I know he knows. Then what I have to do? Submissively inquire. So submissive inquiry means, dear sir, you know the answer to this question. And I fully believe that you know the actual facts, but I don't know. Kindly clarify to me. Kindly explain to me. That is the way to inquire. Not that now I am posing a question. Let me see if you know the answer. I know this question is very difficult. You cannot answer. Like somebody asked Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, can you say God has all powers? God has unlimited powers. Can God create a rock which is so heavy that God cannot lift it? Can God make a rock which is so heavy that God himself cannot lift it? If you say, no, God cannot make such a stone, then you will say, see, there is something that God cannot do. Is it not? Or if you say, yes, God can make such a rock, then you see, God cannot lift that rock. So there is something that God cannot do. So this kind of, very intelligent questions, crooked intelligent questions. To defeat your Guru, to think that I know better, I know I will defeat you in order. If that consciousness is there, then that is not the mood of questioning. So, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena. Prashna means question. So, submissively you inquire, please explain to me. After he explains, if I do not understand, I should realize it is because of my fallen condition that I am not able to understand. So again, with more and more humility, we should approach him. Kindly, can you explain it again? I am not able to understand because of my fallen condition. Please. And you intensify your service to the Guru. Because when the Guru is pleased with the service of a disciple, he gives the knowledge, how? Heart to heart. From heart to heart, the knowledge is transformed. And the Guru can bless you with whatever I know, you will know. Like that Guru can bless. You know, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a story like that. Not story, an incident where Madhavendra Puri was very sick. This was his final pastime. He was going to pass away very soon. At that time, Ishvara Puri served him. One of his disciples served him so nicely. And because of that, Madhavendra Puri became so happy. And he said, may the Lord bless you with whatever understanding I have in my heart. Let it be known to you. It's a special blessing he got. So Ishvara Puri eventually became the Guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he got complete transfer of Krishna Prema from the heart of Madhavendra Puri to Ishvara Puri. So that's a kind of a special blessing. So what happens is, the disciple should be always submissive, and disciple should have faith that my Guru knows the answer to all these questions. And then you should inquire. You should not keep quiet. You should also inquire. So inquiry is very much a part of spiritual growth. You cannot remain blind always. You have to ask your doubts. But at the same time, you should know these are transcendental matters which are there in the scriptures, and my Guru knows the answers to this. With that faith, we should approach. So if you don't have that faith, Krishna says, they do not attain God consciousness. Samshayatma vinashyati. It's a very strong word. Samshayatma vinashyati. A person who has such doubts in the spiritual domain, they will be destroyed. Then Krishna says, for the doubting soul, not only in this world, but in the other world also, there is no happiness. Ayam loko asti na paro na sukham samshayatmanaha. For a doubting person, there is no happiness either in this world or in the next. So this is very, very important. But can you answer this question? So I realize now that faith is very, very important. But how can I get this faith? Is it not? Whether the cart comes first or the horse comes first. Chicken comes first or egg comes first. How to get this faith? What do you say?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, what I feel is we have some amount of faith, and that is why we are following Krishna consciousness. But the faith has to increase, Prabhuji. I heard today about Swami Maharaj's class also. So he said it increases along with bhakti, along with our sadhana. So by reading the scriptures and following Guru's instructions, we have to increase the faith along with bhakti. This is what I understood.
Very right. You know, oftentimes, yes, Madhuri.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Prabhuji,
Right.
like mercy of Vaishnavas, Prabhuji, mercy of a Vaishnava and serving the Vaishnavas, Prabhuji.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. That Maharaj was talking about Kripa Siddhi also. No? Kripa Siddhi is something very, very special, you know. Somebody gets that kind of blessing from a Guru, and he gets very quickly transformed. You know, the Guru looks favorably at the disciple because of the mood of the disciple, you know, the mind of the disciple, which is so submissive and so much filled with the spirit of service. Then the Guru blesses him with a special mercy. But for most of us, Maharaj also said it is very rare. But for most of us, it is a sadhana bhakti by which we will develop faith. So sadhana bhakti very much includes reading and hearing shastras in the association of devotees, and definitely chanting attentively. These ways we will develop faith, because see, we are doing sadhana bhakti only on the basis of faith that my spiritual master has guided me on the right path. So because we are following the instructions of spiritual master, faith will automatically grow. But we should remember that it's not that someone has faith or no faith. You know, like it's either 0 or 100. It's not like that. Between 0 and 100, you know, there are so many levels to be crossed. So that way, yes, we all have faith. But even among us, you know, the level of faith may differ from person to person. So how do I advance more and more in my degree of faith? The degree to grow, we must come in the association of devotees. And we should give up asat sangha. You know, asat sangha tyaga. Yehi Vaishnava achara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, give up asatsanga. Very, very important. Taking satsanga is very important, but giving up asatsanga is also very important. You can't have 50% satsanga, 50% asatsanga. Then what will happen to our spiritual life? So giving up asatsanga is also a very important part of developing our faith. Then more and more, we can get absorbed in satsanga. So that way, we realize that faith is important, and I don't have that faith now. So more and more, we should be eager to enter into the scriptures deeply. In the association, we should hear from advanced devotees, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, gradually, our faith will grow. And it is very difficult for us to even understand what a faithful person experiences. Only when we are there, we can appreciate that. What a transformation faith brings in the life of a person. Then, everything becomes realization for you. What remains knowledge now, it transforms into realization when you have the faith. Whatever we hear, you see, for example, when we say the holy name is non-different from the Lord. When you are chanting, the Lord is dancing on your tongue. All the qualities, the name, form, qualities, past tense, paraphernalia, everything is there in the holy name. In the Kali Yuga, the Lord has incarnated in the form of his holy names. So just by chanting, you can attain Krishna Prema. All these things we hear. No? So imagine you have a strong faith in these things. Then your chanting quality will be something else. Is it not? So it is the faith that we should hanker for now. It is a faith. Not that, okay, I am coming to Satsanga, I am reading Bhagavad Gita, so I have faith. Yes, I have faith. But it's not enough. That faith has to continue to grow. So our entire process of Vaishnava association is from the point of view of growing our strength, increasing our strength. We have so much strength in our material world. Even though I am told I am not the body, but even now, my consciousness is entirely on that platform, is it not? On the bodily platform. So how to come out of this bodily platform and to enter into the spiritual platform? It's all by faith only. So, but unfortunately, in a world which is completely atheistic, they say faith means you are a very inferior, sentimental person. You are a blind follower, they will say. But we know better, fortunately, because we came in the association of Srila Prabhupada's books. We have heard and read Srila Prabhupada's books. Now we know that faith is also something that can grow from 0 to 100. At the level of 100, faith transforms into realization. From 0 to 100, the faith is gradually transforming into realization. Like a bud, if you take a small bud in a plant, there is no fragrance and there is no color, nothing. The small bud, there's nothing. But it is the bud which transforms. Slowly it grows and eventually it opens and then fully blooms. And when it is fully blooming, you can see the colors, you can see the fragrance, you can see the soft texture of the flower. Everything manifests gradually. Similarly, at the level of very low faith, our faith is called Komala Shraddha, very tender faith. But from this faith, as our faith becomes stronger and stronger, and the creeper of Krishna Bhakti becomes very strong, then we will be experiencing different things. That is what we call a spiritual experience. So these are waiting for us. At this point of time, our whole effort should be, how can I increase this Shraddha? So Krishna is warning. And you see where he has placed this sloka? In the 4th chapter where he's talking about Jnana Yoga. Jnana means knowledge. And how to get knowledge? You have to start from a platform of faith. There is no other way to get jnana. In the material world, we will say, no, I want only jnana. I don't want anything on faith. But Krishna says, without faith, you will not get jnana. Without faith, you will not get jnana. That's the point which in sloka number 40, Krishna very powerfully says. So he's encouraging us to become more absorbed in the scriptures in the association of devotees, with an eagerness to acquire that faith and that knowledge. From faith, knowledge comes. So you get the faith and then the knowledge comes. So this is a very important shloka that we should remember. Maybe we should Memorize these shlokas. And shloka number 41. One who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his actions, and whose doubts have been destroyed. Again, the word doubt comes. You will see in many shlokas, the word doubt will come in Bhagavad Gita. So you have to remember, it's very, very important. Not that doubt should not come, but how to deal with doubts. That Krishna has taught us, how to deal with doubts. Most important thing in doubt is, I should know that it is my deficiency. Because I am a spirit soul, but I am wrongly identified with this body. As a result of that, I have got a lot of doubts in spiritual science. It is my problem. It is not that there is anything lacking. The spiritual scriptures are perfect. The spiritual masters are perfect. They can tell me everything. But unfortunately, because I am so much attached to my body, out of ignorance, I am unable to gather this knowledge now. Then you can definitely go and ask doubts. Then the acharyas will happily explain. If you are not in that mood, even if the acharya explains, you will not understand. You will not understand. You may think, for the moment I have understood. Next moment another doubt will arise. And whatever you know will be lost. So we have to start from the platform of submissive, humble service to the spiritual master. That is the platform of faith. From that, pariprashna, asking doubts, questions, that comes. That's the next stage. Okay. So in 41, you must add yoga sanyasta karmana. You have to be in yoga. That means you have to be in devotional service. Sanyasta karmana. All activities, karmas, you have to surrender, renounce. Sanyasta karmanam, all activities you have to surrender. Then jnana sanchinna samshaya. All the doubt should be destroyed by jnana. By getting the knowledge, all the doubts destroyed. Then atmavantam, situated in the self. And that self is not body. That self is soul. So one should become situated in the self. Then such a person, nibadnanti, such a person, karmani nibadnanti. Karma will not bind such a person. So our whole purpose of jnana is to become free from the bondage of karma. That's all. Once you become free from the bondage of karma, you become a transcendental personality. You are no longer belonging to this material body. So to become free from karma, what you have to do? You have to act in devotional service, yoga. Sanyasta karmana. You have to give up all fruits of your actions. Not that actions you give up. Fruits of your actions you give up. And jnana sanchinna samshayam. All these doubts, whatever you had, it should be destroyed by the knowledge which is imparted by the Guru. Atmavantam, in that way you should be established in your soul consciousness. In that level, karmani nibadnanti, your karmas will not bind you. 42. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam vritam jnanasinatmanah chitvainam samsayam yogam atishthotishta bharata. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance, you remember in chapter 1 and 2, Arjuna asked so many doubts. So Krishna says, these doubts have arisen out of ignorance, and destroy them with the weapon of knowledge. And then what you have to do? Atishthotishta bharata. Then stand up and fight. Armed with this knowledge, with yoga, stand up and fight. So this is how Krishna concludes Jnana Yoga. So if you see, I recommend that all of you read again chapter 3 and 4. Chapter 3 and 4. Then you will realize something very amazing. Krishna is only reiterating 3 and 4. Krishna is reiterating Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. One extra thing he gives is, he gives an introduction about himself. Who am I? What is this Parampara system? Why do I incarnate Yuga after Yuga? And what is the importance of this knowledge that comes in the disciplic succession? And how to acquire that knowledge? These are the extra things what he has told. But then he's again re-emphasizing whatever was told in Karma Yoga. You must do your duty. Don't think I have got jnana, now no more karma for me. You will still do karma. As a self-realized soul, it makes no difference whether you do your karma or don't do your karma. It is the same. Not that we will think, most of us will have a tendency to think, oh, once I acquire jnana, there is no need to do karma. Yes, true. But no need to do karma doesn't mean that you will not do karma. No need is true. Because a realized soul has nothing to achieve, nothing to acquire. He is self-realized. But still, he will do his karma rather than not do. Only a person who is in bondage, he will think, oh, no more duties for me, no more work for me, how nice. But a realized person, he realizes that there is no more duty for me. But still, he would rather do his duties. Why? In order to set a good example for the people around him. A person who has become a devotee may continue the Varnashrama duties. Why? Not because without Varnashrama I will not progress in my bhakti, or without Varnashrama I will go to hell, etc. Not for that reason. But around me there are people who have not got the adhikar for bhakti. They cannot do bhakti by watching me, but they will only watch me that I am not doing my nitya karma, naimitika karma, etc. I have given up my karma. So they will think, oh, he has given up, I will also give up. So neither they will take up spiritual bhakti process, nor they will continue their karma yoga process, sakama karma. So they will become neither here nor there. Their life will become sinful. So a devotee does not act like that. So these are the points that in chapter 4 Krishna emphasized. If you read along with Prabhupada's purport, chapter 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4, you will see, hey, karma yoga, jnana yoga are the same. Really, there is no difference. They are both the same. It is a consciousness. So it is a karma yoga. When it is perfectly done, it leads you automatically into jnana yoga. A person who is properly performing his karma on an ongoing basis eventually loses interest in the fruit of karma. He is no longer interested. He will just do karma as karma. It's called nishkamya karma. The nishkamya karma attains perfection when everything is offered to Lord Krishna. Then you call it devotional service. You do everything only for the pleasure of Krishna. Then, that karma yoga leads you to jnana yoga. That jnana yoga will lead you to liberation. So this is the process, yoga ladder. Karma yoga to nishkamya karma yoga. Then you come to jnana yoga. Then at the maturity of jnana yoga, you give up jnana yoga also. That's called jnana sannyasa yoga. You give up that knowledge also. Then what is left with you? Does anybody know? Maybe this is a subject we have not spoken so far. Does anyone know what is a jnana sannyasa?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I just have a doubt, Prabhuji. You just said that, Prabhuji, we have to give up that jnana also. So, which jnana, Prabhuji, like you are telling, like? Jnana.
That is this jnana of, Sankhya yoga. That there are these 24 elements on this, material creation, and soul is something else. So I am not the body. I am not made of these elements. The spirit is something else. No, it is part of Brahman. This is the jnana, what they acquire. The so-called jnanis, this is what they do. They use Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra to separate the soul from the body. This is the whole process of what is called nitidhyasana. They study the scriptures, and by constant study of scriptures, by constantly absorbing in the scriptures, they want to separate the body from the gross body and subtle body. They want to separate the soul from that. That is the purpose. So this activity will be given up when ultimately they are established in soul consciousness. Right? Is it clear?
Prabhuji, is it only for the impersonalist, Prabhuji, referring to? Or?
Yeah.
Oh.
I am coming to make one important point. That's why I am giving this preamble. See, for a jnani, the goal is impersonal liberation. So, supposing he starts as a karmi, and eventually he becomes a nishkamya karmi. He gives up all fruitive activity. He's doing fruitive activity, but he's giving up the attachment to fruitive activity. Then he rises to the level of jnana. At the level of jnana, he gives up his karma also, because he is now becoming, even the nishkamya karma he gives up at the level of jnana. Then jnana means he is only studying Vedanta Sutra, Bhakti Sutra, not Bhakti Sutra, Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra. He is trying to absorb himself in that to separate the soul from the body consciousness, gross and subtle body. He wants to see soul as something else. The gross body, subtle body, they belong to material world. They are all made of material elements. But there is a soul which is something else. And he wants to attain that consciousness. That's called Brahman. So for such a person, the Lord says, at the final stage, there is Jnana Sannyasa. Karma Sannyasa is called Jnana Yoga. And Jnana Sannyasa leads you to liberation. But the Lord says very importantly, in all these stages, there should be a little bhakti mixed. Today, Maharaj also was saying in the class. So whoever heard this today morning Bhagavatam class, they would have heard this. Even Karma Yoga, to give results, there should be some bhakti. And Jnana Yoga, to give results, there should be some bhakti. So in Jnana Yoga, your aim is impersonal liberation. For that also, some bhakti is necessary. So when I say Jnana Sannyasa, when you give up this Sankhya, that inquiry, but then bhakti you should not give up. And that bhakti will take you to liberation. It is that bhakti, little bhakti, that will take you to liberation. If that bhakti is not there, Jnani will never attain perfection. For Jnani, perfection is liberation, impersonal liberation. He will not attain. And similarly, a karmi, whatever goals he may want to go to Satyaloka, he may want to go to Indraloka, Chatraloka, etc. That desire cannot be fulfilled unless some bhakti is mixed in his karma yoga process. Same with Ashtanga Yoga, some bhakti should be done. And at the final level of success, they should give up their process, but they should not give up bhakti. Then only they will attain the goal. Is it clear?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, is it that bhakti won't take them to the full complete bhakti yoga, Prabhuji? No, because they will have the other motives inside.
And the Jnani has a motive of merging in impersonal Brahman. So he has to worship the Supreme Lord, he has to do bhakti. Then the Lord will fulfill his desire to merge in impersonal liberation. Prabhupada says in one place very nicely, in Bhagavad Gita only, if you read, you will find, I don't remember exactly where. Prabhupada says, some people want to commit spiritual suicide. Who are they? Jnanis. They want to commit spiritual suicide. They are the Jnanis. And for them also Krishna helps, provided they do bhakti. They should do bhakti to Krishna. Then Krishna will award them the liberation they want, which is merging in the body of Krishna. He gives. Same way Karma Yogi, if they want to go to some demigods planets, Indraloka, Chandraloka, etc., he must do bhakti to Krishna. Then he will tell him, all right, you go. Right? But when you are a bhakta and you are only seeking Krishna prema and you want to go back home, back to Godhead, then you should not do karma, you should not do jnana, you should not do Ashtanga Yoga. If you think, no, along with bhakti, if I do karma, I will get better results. Or along with bhakti, I should also do jnana, then I will get better results. If I don't do, then I may get some sin. Maybe if I don't do my bhakti perfectly, at least the jnana and karma will protect me. This kind of consciousness is very poor quality of bhakti. Real bhakti means kevala bhakti. You give up karma, you give up jnana, and exclusively perform bhakti. Then Narada Muni says, actually nothing is lost. If you give up your karma yoga, if you give up your jnana yoga, you give up your occupational duty, and you start doing bhakti, and somehow you don't perfect your bhakti, nothing is lost, Narada Muni says. Whereas, if someone gives up the lotus feet of the Lord and engages wholeheartedly in Varnashrama, then what is his gain? This is what Narada Muni says in Bhagavad. So is it clear? That
Yes, Prabhuji, clear, Prabhuji. But the thing what you said just now created another question, Prabhuji. Like, Prabhuji, when you said that we should not mix karma yoga with bhakti yoga. So I have a question, like when we are practicing devotees, sometimes when any problem arises in our life, we just chant the Narasimha. Somebody suggests us to chant the Narasimha Kavacha to get some results, Prabhuji. So will that become a karma yoga, Prabhuji? Like we are doing that to get something in return?
What do you want in return is the question. If you have any
Get that help
help for
to
your
that life.
spiritual life, see, help for your spiritual life is very good. If you seek help in your material life, that shows your foolishness. Because we are surrendering our life to Krishna, who is perfect. So he knows what is good for me. I don't know. Something that I don't like may be actually good for me. The little child, mother is tucking the child in her lap and forcing the child to drink some bitter medicine. The child doesn't want. The mother is forcing because mother knows what is good for the child. Same way, Kulashekar Alvar, there is an amazing Alvar. He writes a song. He says, even if the mother beats the child will only hug the mother and cry. Because it knows there is nowhere else for me to go. That is a kind of surrender that he is talking about. And when the doctor is cutting open the body or he's burning the body, whatever the doctor does, but the patient will love the doctor because he knows the doctor is doing this to cure me of my disease from which I am suffering. So that way, whatever sufferings are there in our life, we know Krishna is sending it for a purpose. So we have the right mood to welcome that. We have repeated this shloka of Brahmaji many times in our class. Tattenu kampam susamikshamano, right? In 10th canto, he says, a bhakta accepts whatever comes in his life as the mercy of Krishna, good and bad. Whatever happens, he accepts it as Krishna's mercy. And also, if suffering comes, he says, I deserve much worse. I am such a great sinner. But by Krishna's mercy, his suffering is reduced. And he continues to perform bhakti, kridvak dopurbir. By his body, words, and mind, he continues to do bhakti. Then Brahmaji says, for him, a seat is already reserved in Vaikuntha. Nobody can take it away from him. It is his birthright. So, chanting Narasimha prayers is very good. All the ISKCON devotees, they have a special relationship with Narasimhadev because Narasimhadev is Bhakti Vigna Vinashaka. He destroys all obstacles to the process of bhakti. So we can always pray to Narasimhadev, please remove the obstacles on my path. Okay. Having said that, because we are still beginners, we may still have a tendency to pray for ourselves and our family. There is nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Only thing, it makes you a little more humble. Yeah, I am still not completely free from my material desires. No harm. You still pray, because we are not on that platform yet. Let us not cheat ourselves if we still have material desires. Bhagavatam, I have told this shloka to you before. Akama, Sarvakama, Moksha Kama. 3 types of people. Akama means he has no desire except Krishna's pleasure. He is a devotee, pure devotee. Akama. Sarvakama, people like us, unlimited desires. Then there is another category, Moksha Kama. They want liberation. And Bhagavatam says, for all these 3 people, only one recommendation. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusha Param. Paramapurusha, Lord, you worship him. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Seriously, intensely you do bhakti to the Supreme Lord. So it is not that, I have some desire, so I will go here. If I am a pure devotee, I will do only bhakti. Because I am not a pure devotee, I will go here, there, and all that. No. It says, another very important word is used here. Kama sarva kamova, moksha kama udharadihi. That means a person is really intelligent. Udharadihi. If a person is really intelligent, he will only worship Krishna, nothing else. So there is no prayaschitta, there is no other process. For all our sufferings, all our desires, everything will pray to the Supreme Lord, and you worship him in the form of Narasimhadev, no harm at all. You can still worship. But in the heart of hearts, we all should know that there should be only one Abhilasha. And that Abhilasha is to acquire Krishna Prema somehow. Krishna Prema is the Panchama Purushartha. This is the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And beyond that lies Krishna Prema. That is called 5th Purushartha. And we should know that is the only goal of a devotee, not anything else.
Thank you so much. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So with that, we have come to the conclusion of chapter 4. We will take up chapter 5 in the next session. Hare Krishna. So just give me a couple of minutes and I will start the Chaitanya, Prabhupada Leela Amrita. Just I will